Hey everybody, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to a video that I am super excited about. I am bringing you an updated, what do I wish we'd known when we first purchased Disney Vacation Club, and I'm really glad that you're here. So first of all, if this is your first time here, I'm Jen. I talk about Disney, Disney Cruise Line, Run Disney, Disney Vacation Club, and I have been doing this now for a full 3 years. Yes, that's right. I just celebrated my 3rd YouTube anniversary, which is crazy to me. And what's funny is when I first did a video about Disney Vacation Club, I had no idea that that video would take off. It has now received almost 150,000 views, and I really do credit that video with launching my channel. So if you want to watch that video first, I'll put a link to it right there, but make sure you come back and watch this one too, because I'm going to share some new information and specifically some things that have happened in the last 3 years that I didn't even know were possible when we first purchased DVC. We first started looking into Disney Vacation Club all the way back in 2007. We researched for several years, and at that time I was a little frustrated with what I could find other than what Disney was telling me about Disney Vacation Club. I am one of those people that has to just research the heck out of everything, and I wasn't finding the information that I needed. So when I started my channel, I was like, you know what? I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about the things that nobody told us. You need to know that I am not associated with Disney Vacation Club. I'm not a travel agent. I don't own a broker that sells Disney Vacation Club. I am just a person who owns and who had a lot of questions when we started out, and quite honestly, I still sometimes have a lot of questions. And so I thought it would be helpful for me to share our experiences as we went along. It ended up being kind of a main focus of my channel, which totally shocked me, but I actually love it because we love Disney Vacation Club. We have bought and sold multiple contracts over the years. Currently, we own 220 points total spread across 2 different contracts, both of which are at Disney's Old Key West Resort. We used to own at Vero Beach. We stopped going to Vero for a variety of reasons, so we sold that contract. And if you want to watch videos about that whole process, the buying and selling of contracts on the secondary market, you can go check out my complete playlist. There are so many videos on there, like to the point where I feel like I might overwhelm people. Like I'm that person where if you meet me at a dinner party and you're like, now tell me about Disney Vacation Club, you're going to find yourself like backing away and trying to find someone that will talk about WandaVision or something else. But I really love talking about it. So it's been great that it's parlayed into my YouTube channel. And now this is what I do for my job. So, win, win, win. Okay, so this is my updated list of 5 things I wish we'd known. And none of these were on the original list. So, okay, you ready? Let's just dive right in. The very first one is resale isn't always the best answer. Now, some of you watching this might not even know there's a resale market for Disney Vacation Club. Although I will say that's less true now than it was when I first started doing these videos. Most people that are looking into it now know there's a resale market, partially because Disney kept bringing it up. But anyway, there is a resale market, but depending on where you want to buy, you really want to look at the numbers. I was quite shocked when we decided to buy an additional contract at Old Key West that when I realized that I could buy it direct from Disney at the time for $155 a point. By the way, it's now gone up to $165 a point, so you'd have to run the math. But the big difference between an Old Key West contract purchased direct from Disney as opposed to most of them on the resale market, not all, sometimes you'll find a 2057 contract, but most of them on the resale market have a 2042 expiration date. But if you purchase direct from Disney, you get a 2057 expiration date. So that is many, many more years of vacations. Now on the resale market right now, Old Key West is selling for anywhere from $115 a point, sometimes as low as $100 a point if it's a stripped contract. But when you look at 15 years more on the contract purchased direct from Disney, the math starts to make a little bit less sense. And then when you add in, you will get all of those blue card perks if you purchase direct from Disney. You may want to run the numbers. It may make more sense for you. The expiration date to me is a big thing with the resale market that you really have to consider if you're buying one of the older resorts. You have a lot fewer vacations to use, obviously, on a shorter contract than a larger contract. And your dues are going to be the same no matter what, year over year. You pay the same in dues whether you buy resale or direct from Disney. So we're really just talking about that one-time initial purchase price. Now, time out. If your eyes just glazed over and you're like, what is this chick talking about? I definitely want to send you back to some of my earlier videos for kind of a Disney Vacation Club 101. But in a nutshell, you buy your contract, kind of think of it as buying a condo for a set price that you get to use however many days out of the year. And then think of your annual dues as your HOA association fees. That is the easiest way to look at it. So your initial purchase price, you just pay once, okay? And then your annual dues, you pay monthly for the length of the contract, and those dues can and will go up, okay? Clear as mud? All right, moving on. By the way, people always say to me,
why is Disney Vacation Club so complicated?
I don't know. It just is. It just is. But you know what? Then you get to spend more time with me. And who would complain about that? Well, maybe a lot of people. Anyway, that was the first thing. So definitely check and make sure you're comparing apples to apples when you're trying to decide if you should buy direct from Disney or if you should buy resale. Number two, and this is one that I think a lot of us during the time of the great unpleasantness had no idea about. I know I did not know, and that is that borrowing rules can change. I had no idea that Disney could make a determination that instead of being able to borrow all of the points from the year ahead, that we could only borrow half of the points. Literally no idea. In fact, I did a whole video about how by banking and borrowing, you could actually go every other year, buy a smaller contract, all of these calculations that I did based on the fact that you would be able to borrow 100% of the following year's points. You cannot do that right now. Now, I don't know how long that is going to go on. Disney has reassured us that this is a temporary measure to kind of even out the point distribution because they can only have so many points out there in circulation for any given year. Totally get that, but I, honest to God, had no idea that could happen. So that was a big shock for me. Thankfully, we have enough points that it didn't affect us too much. We did end up skipping a year like many of us did. So it's all going to be fine. And hopefully that will revert back to the way it used to be, very soon. I'm hoping by 2022. But yeah, no idea. And that was a really good thing to know. Number three, perks are not guaranteed and are always subject to change. And I think a lot of us were shocked when we found out that all of a sudden we couldn't buy annual passes, and the realization that yes, if you buy direct from Disney, you get an amazing discount on annual passes. We're actually able to purchase a gold pass, which is typically only available to Florida residents at a highly discounted rate. But at the moment, they are not selling those. So that perk can go away. And really, any of the member perks that we enjoy, including the lounges, including obviously the parties, those all went away this year. Member cruises, there's another member cruise scheduled in June, and I'm not trying to jinx it, but I don't think it's looking good for that member cruise, you guys. I just really don't. So all of those perks that are fantastic don't necessarily mean you should buy direct, because those could go away at any time, even for those of us that bought direct from Disney. There's a difference between what is deeded in our contract and the perks that Disney offers at will and is always subject to change. That's the rule of Disney, always subject to change. Number four. I did not know this. Swear to you, I did not know this. 75% of our annual dues actually go to paying the workers, the people who take care of the rooms, the people who take care of the property, the cast members that meet you at the front desk. All of the thousands and thousands of people that are required to keep a Disney Vacation Club running and operating, 75% of our dues go to paying their salaries. The reason I think this is important is one of the reasons that we saw a little bit of a hike and then also ended up getting a little bit of a refund was because of the time when the resorts were closed. And whenever my dues go up, I'm choosing, instead of getting, snarky about it, oh, they're trying to rip me off again, remembering remembering that part of that is the increase in hourly wages for the workers at Disney. There is a Florida law that they have a few years here to get that up to $15 an hour. I am so appreciative of the cast members, especially right now. I want to make sure that they are all paid a living wage. And so I have completely changed my outlook on annual dues. And every time from now on, when dues go up, I will just remind myself that that is going to pay someone for doing an amazing job. And then number 5. And number 5 is going to get, I'm not going to lie to you guys, it's going to get a little cheese ball here. So, you know, you might get a cavity. It's going to be so sweet. I did not know when we first purchased Disney Vacation Club that I really would feel such a strong connection, not only to my fellow owners as part of a community, but also to the staff of Disney Vacation Club. When we get that Disney Files magazine and there is a letter from the editor from Ryan, or we have something from Terry, I got to actually meet these people on the DVC member cruise, and they are quality individuals. They are people with families. Many of them have been working for Disney Vacation Club for decades. They have such a great attitude about members, wanting to serve members. And sure, yes, they also want you to buy more points. But it really, during this time when we've all been under so much stress, and when they had the layoffs, I can't imagine how stressful it was for all of the employees of Disney Vacation Club, both obviously the ones that were laid off and the ones that were left behind, you know, grateful for their jobs, feeling terrible for their brothers and sisters who they worked alongside. It just has felt more like a family than I even realized, and I did not expect that from a timeshare. I think when you look at Disney Vacation Club and we talk about it being the DVC family, that can feel really cheesy, but during this really difficult time for all of us, I have derived a lot of comfort from knowing that, you know, we have that family out there, and we all know that no matter what happened in 2020, no matter what happens in 2021, we still have decades of Disney vacations ahead of us, and it has just been incredibly comforting. And I could not have told you that way back in 2012 when we first purchased, but it really has helped me to know that Disney is still going to be there, Disney Vacation Club is still going to be there, and that my family and I are going to be able to enjoy our memories there for many, many years to come. So yeah, it's been an interesting season for sure. I don't know what's next for Disney Vacation Club. I don't know what properties that have been put on hold. Are they going to continue, you know, operating those things? Are they maybe going to continue building of the Reflections property that was supposed to be out near Fort Wilderness? I kind of had my hopes up that that would be open. I don't know what happens next. I don't know what happens next about a lot of things in the world, but I do know that we are all going to get through this together. And I also know that I'm really grateful that you chose to spend some time with me today. So if you've made it all the way to this part of the video, I have to believe it's because you liked it. So if you would give it a big thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. And if you would subscribe to the channel, that would also mean the world to me. I hope whatever you're doing, you're being really good to each other. And I hope you and your family have a lot of magical Disney memories in your future. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.